Hi beautifuls, Hannah from Reality Awareness here. Welcome to the extended version of About My Tattoos. I get asked about them all the time. So going to start from the beginning again in the extended version here. So my very first tattoo was the Om symbol, and I was a yoga teacher. I'm still a yoga teacher. I was facilitating, training yoga teachers to become teachers at the time, and I also was teaching regular classes for yoga teaching. So I think as my very first tattoo, I was very much like the Om obviously is very profound, as we know, in many, many ways, and it was just literally the first one that came to me. All of my tattoos I have seen in meditation or in a vision that has dropped in. That's why I got them, right? So it's not like, oh, I just got a random tattoo. It's like, no, I actually see them on my skin. I feel them on my skin for a long time before I get them. And they literally either come in a vision or I see them, or yeah, in meditation or something like that. I've all dropped in at different times. So that was the very first one, the Om, yeah, on my arm. The second one was this one, the Hermes. So the Hermes symbol, and if you've seen, so like I have a very strong connection to the Melchizedek order, and it's obviously the Hermes symbol, which I'm a healer. Trust Intuition is my signature program. I train healers to become healers. I train people from beginners in their psychic development to heal trauma and release trauma to become not only more psychic, but to be able to feel empowered, remember who you are, activate your life purpose blueprint, because you have to trust the intuition to do that, and trauma clouds our intuition. So we're unpacking all of that in my Trust Intuition course. And it just so happens that as you understand all of those pieces, you also are a healer, and you naturally are drawn to this work because you are a healer, not just from this lifetime, but from all your lifetimes. So this symbol has a very strong, very old, deep connected meaning to me and for me. And the heart and the wings, right, also have very strong connections. So obviously Reality Awareness logo that also came in meditation in 2016, you probably heard me talk about it many times, is a heart, right? And in high school, I remember having like a metal pen that was like just a pen, but it was just metal. It's quite a dangerous weapon if you look at it right. But I would literally like inscribe on my history class desk, like just in class, you know, we're just doodling, but like hearts with wings. Like that was like my tag, or you know what I mean? Like that's what I used to like doodle all the time. Tag, you know, now we actually do hashtags. Anyway, so you know, and it's interesting, Life Purpose Legacy, now after 8 years of being online, the Life Purpose Legacy logo came through, and it's the heart with the wings. And I was like, oh, the heart with the wings. And, you know, in history class when I was 14, I used to like inscribe it. And I'm like, you guys know what you're meant to do. You've been shown there were signs all along the way that your soul was like speaking to you. On a side note. So yeah, so the Hermes symbol, the Melchizedek order, very, very connected to that. The communication of Hermes as well, like it's it's the messenger, right? The messenger of God, or I don't know, maybe I'm getting it mixed up, but he's a messenger of communication. And one of my, you know, really, I guess, strong values is communication. Like, why can't you just communicate? Like, you know, it's like really understanding and being able to, not just on a human to human level, but as a life purpose, is translating in any healer or psychic or medium or anyone drawn to this work, this industry, has a gift for translating and communicating esoteric information into human understanding to awaken human consciousness in some way, shape or form. Like it's a given, that's what you do. And so when we look at the communication aspect, you're translating that esoteric psychic information and making it into comprehensible human conscious understanding. And with that, that's a big part of your purpose. That's, you know, it's like the messenger, it's like the healer, you know, to always say like, words can heal, right? And we know words can hurt and words can heal, but it's also that conscious understanding that can heal and unlock something really quickly if we know how to articulate it. And we learn to articulate it by practice, skill, doing the thing, communication, and by healing the trauma that is blocking your communication with, all your neural pathways, the nervous system and all those pieces. Like when we heal trauma, which is what we do in Trust Intuition, is one aspect of what we do, because it's really important to be able to trust intuition, but also to have articulate, clear intuition, and being able to understand and comprehend those pieces is to remove trauma that you may not know is there or that you do know is there, and to be able to clear that so that you can have this clear conscious communication and articulate those pieces. Okay. Big meaning. All my tattoos have really big meaning, right? So next, I can't remember if it was a serpent or this. I actually think it was the heart on my hand. So my heart on my hand, I don't know if I can make it focus even. Let me see. Anyway, you might have seen it in the small part series reels. I don't think it's going to focus. Anyway, so there's this heart on my hand. The purpose of the heart on my hand was to remind me to stay in my heart. Funny about that. I know, showing my hand, reality awareness, it's all about the heart. I got it. We teach what we most need to learn, right? So that we can teach it in the highest capacity. So to remind me to stay out of my head into my heart on my hand, so it's like reminding me, right? It's always there. That was the purpose of that. And it came at a time when I was doing a lot of healing from toxic relationships. I was the toxic one, they were the toxic one, I was waking up, right? I was moving from immature feminine to mature feminine, if we look at it like that. So was it really toxic? No, it was a wake up. And it was reminding me to stay out of my head and into my heart. So with that, you can't really see, you might have seen it on the reels, like I did you've either come here to watch this extended version, or you've seen my short reels about my tattoos and now you're watching the extended version about them. It's a bit hard for me. I can't really show it on there. I don't know. There's literally a bear in there. Maybe it's starting to, there's a bear in that tattoo. Like there's two ears on the top of the two bits of the heart. And when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my God, it's a bear. Like it's a bear face with the heart in it. Now, bear is actually reality awareness animal totem. Like that's the totem for reality awareness is bear. And that bear in there wasn't planned. I know I'm a shaman and I'm very connected to animals, but hello. Okay, so that's that one. Then these are the same, roughly the same time. So these ones on my fingers are really, really important. I love them. They're really deep to me, I guess. So I did not plan to get all three of them, and they all didn't come through at the same time. So and this is what I mean, like when I have a vision, I don't go out and get it that day. It's like I usually sit with it. It's usually quite a few months before it, properly lands. So this one, my Trust Intuition students, one day were like, what's the Trust Intuition tattoo, Hannah? And I'm like, what? Trust Intuition's got a tattoo? I was like my course, right? And I'm like, okay, like full Trust Intuition tribe tattoo. So like one of the requirements to come into Trust Intuition is you must get the TYI tattoo. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You don't have to get a tattoo. This is a lot of us have a Trust Intuition tattoo. So it could look like this. Some of the people do have just Trust Intuition written in beautiful writing on their body somewhere. But you can see, right? So it's TYI. So the T, the I, and sorry, the Y and the I. Now, obviously the T is the U shape at the top, right? So we moved from flat T to the round T. And I don't know why, that was just what came through one day. It dropped in and I drew it. And I was like, this is the TYI symbol, guys. So it's Trust Intuition tattoo. Like I said, let it sit there. It's not like I went out and got it that day. Not long after that, I don't know, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, I don't remember now. I do remember it was in 2018. And I remember meditating one day, meditate a lot, but this particular day I remember because just meditating, just doing my normal thing. And literally Isis, the Sender Master Goddess, like Isis showed up, with her big wings, like she came down and landed, and I was like it sort of like woke me up out of my meditation, if you may. It's like Isis just came down and she just put this symbol like in my third eye. Like she just came down with her massive wings. Like it really, like I was like, whoa, like, and she just put this symbol into my third eye, and I was like, oh, what was that? Like, you know, and then she left, and I didn't, like, I still don't know what it is today, right? The middle one. But as soon, and it looks like, yes, it looks like a 2. Like if you have it up that way, it definitely looks like a 2, but it was given to me like this. And that was literally as a symbol. And of course, like as soon as I got out, I like wrote it down. Well, as soon as that happened, I got out and drew it straight away because I was like, what was that? And I'm like Googling for ages, like trying to find the symbols and all this stuff. I'm like, no luck. Anyway, so I just left it and, you know, obviously wrote it down in my sacred journal as I do, and I train, you know, you guys to do. If you want really strong intuition, that's what you got to do. And then, yeah, and so I just left it, and then this one on the end, just a circle. I don't know, just came to me, it was a circle. And it really came to me when I, you know, had planned to get these 2 tattoos. I was only ever going to get this one on that finger, like the trust intuition, like that's where I always was going to get it. And it just, you know, like I said, I didn't go out and get it that day, but that's always where it was planned to be. And then when the Isa symbol came through, I was like, oh, then that one can go there. And then, you know, when I was planning to get them actually at the studio, I was like, oh, and let's just do a circle there because, you know, then it's whatever. I just did it. Didn't really think about that. Now, after I was at the studio, literally the day I was at the studio, I wish maybe I should have written that down. Maybe I do have it in my diary somewhere. So I met my one of my best friends who's a liquid crystal practitioner, and I'd ordered liquid crystals from her. And, you know, just the timing of us, me being able to pick them up, and she met me just after the tattoos, like after the thing. And I met her, I don't know, she was coming out of yoga class or something, and I was just there, and I met her in the car park to give me like the crystals, right, drop off the liquid crystals. Because I'd ordered, I wish I'd remember what I'd ordered from her. Maybe I have to look back at the dates because I have written down all the crystals I've ever taken. Anyway, the point is that, you know, I'm like in pain. I've just been like under the needle for however long, and it's really painful to get them on the bone like that, especially like they're quite thick. That was quite painful. And, you know, so I'm all wrapped up or whatever, and I'm like, oh, feeling a bit like weak. And she's like, are you all right? And I was like, I just got these today. And like they're all wrapped up in plastic. And she's like, oh my God, the triple goddess. And I'm like, oh my God. If she hadn't have said it, I wouldn't have like clicked maybe later. But I was like, oh my God, it is so the triple goddess. The maiden, right? The maiden who's open, the mother who's got the pregnant belly, and the crone who comes full circle. And I was like, oh my God. Wow. And I was just like blown away. And like, if we look at Isis, she's like the epitome of the feminine and like the mother goddess. And I'm like, oh my God. So that's those. So really, really, I love that story. Okay, now we have these ones and these ones. So this definitely came in meditation, and it literally came in the full moon ceremony of August 2020. So it was a full moon ceremony, August 2020. I was in my hometown of Broken Hill and out in one of the stations and holding the full moon ceremony, and sat down, opened the full moon ceremony as I do, and, you know, started channeling whatever. And as soon as I started channeling all the stuff, like I literally saw this on my face. And again, not like I ran out the next day and got this done. Like I literally saw this on my face and was like, whoa, and, you know, and kept channeling the full moon ceremony. After each full moon ceremony, we just hang around for a bit and debrief of all the visions we saw and what we traveled through and all those things. And one of the first things one of my students said, she's like, Hannah, I saw like this moon on your forehead and the stars and the line on your chin. And I was like, gobsmacked. I was like, oh my God, I saw that too. Like, wow. Like she saw it. I'm like, I didn't tell anybody. Like I saw this, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you guys are just as psychic as me. Really, can you just make sure you remember that all the time? Anyway, so I sat with this, obviously, but it was February 2000 February? Maybe it was January. So January or February 2021. I think it was February actually that I got done. And I got this done at the same time. So this is the traditional hand poke tattoos. All the others are the normal, like, I guess modern day needle ones, if you want to call it that. I'm sure there's a proper name for them, so I'm sorry for my ignorance about that. I'm not a tattoo artist. So these are the traditional hand poke ones. And for whatever reason, I just wanted, like, I guess because I've got my hand or whatever, I just wanted this done as well. So I didn't technically see this in a vision, but this well, not really with fingers, but this one, I wanted something here, and I knew I wanted like the same Hermes, but I let her be her creative, intuitive channel to channel through a specific, you know, thing, which is what she does. That's her craft. And so yeah, and this was when I was going through a time of really remembering who I am as a healer. And it was, again, the same with like staying in my heart. It was like a reminder that I'm a healer, and that's who I am. And it was a really powerful, potent reminder. She said she had lots of Archangel Raphael channeling through when she was doing it and channeling it. I'm like, that doesn't surprise me. So all of these she channeled through, and she did go through what they all meant as she was doing it. I can't exactly remember now, but if we look at, there's a moon and a stars on it, on either one. The ayahuasca plants on there, even though I've never had any, but if you've been in my Transcendence 6-week transformative manifestation program, we do work with the tree of light. And so, you know, I have worked with it, but not physically, if you may. So yeah, very, very powerful there. And yeah, and so then these, like I said, these came through in the full moon ceremony. So it's not like I'm like, oh, I know what they mean, but I do know what they mean, but it's more on a soul level. I'm just like, this is like who I am. Like I deeply connected to the moon. I channeled that painting. I painted that myself many, many years ago before I moved out here. Now I live out here with in the gum trees, you know, as the priestess. So this was in November 2014 that I channeled this painting. And I literally now live on a property with creeks and gum trees, so go figure. Always in the path plan, I guess. And then the other piece I was going to say about this, so this is really representing to me of that, I guess, my gift, and I'm a shaman, I'm a healer, I am a psychic. Like for me, I understand all those labels have all slightly different meanings, but they're all under the same umbrella. Like, you know, you're one of these people, you're one of these people. Like we're one. We really are. I'm a healer, yeah? And it's really interesting. So when the dogs attacked me, December 2021, when I was laying in hospital, I never go to hospital. I never anything, never, no shit happens to me like that. I'm a healer, for fuck's sake, right? So when I'm in hospital, I was really like, so much grief was coming up. It's a whole nother story in itself. I've talked about it many times. And there's a proper live stream about it way back in the streams in the library. The point that I want to share about that is when I was laying in hospital, I don't know, I think it was by the 3rd day, and I was getting agitated because I couldn't move, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like I started to get angry right through the grief cycle, and I was like pissed. And you know, I'm in and out of like, you know, sleeping or whatever, and one of the things, like just like Isis showed up, like these 3 women showed up. And one, like, you know, like metaphysically, not physically in the room, they weren't a nurse, okay? My 3rd eye, you know, I was like, and I just same with the Isis vision, you know, it's like and these 3 women came, and they came directly in front of me. And the first one was like, I guess an African elder, and she had like all the rings on her neck. And I'm sorry for my ignorance, I don't know what their proper names are or anything, but she had all of the rings on her neck and the big like hair, and you know, like how they do the big buns or whatever. And she came and she just did like these, I guess like symbols or something over my body, like, you know, and she came in, she did that, and then she like went back and sort of stood over there. And then this Native American elder woman, or women, came in, and she had, you know, the big feathers, and like she came in and did something similar. She did her own thing, and then she moved back to the middle. And then this Aboriginal elder woman came with all her dress, or all their traditional dress on, and she came in and I can't remember, she did like these like she painted the white all over my face, you know, they do the stripes and whatever. And she came in and did that, and then she went and stood over there. So there was like the 3 of them there, and then they left. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, more information, please. You know, and it was like that was the response to, oh, I'm covered in goosebumps as I talk about that. It was such a powerful fucking thing. Like that was the response to my asking, what the fuck happened to me? Why did this happen to me? And I'm laying in hospital on day 3, like asking these questions because I couldn't fucking move. And I was another 2 days before I got into surgery. Ugh, whatever. It was a fucking experience, especially when none of that shit. I don't go to hospital. I don't do shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was a big experience for me, let alone everything else that happened with it. But for that to happen, in the like in the hospital was, yeah, I think about that often because I don't know the meaning of it. Like I know it's like an initiation or, you know, but it's not like I've been given like, oh, this is the direct meaning of what that is. I think it's just like everything. So yeah. So there's about my tattoos. If you've got any questions, comment below. If you know I'm the mentor for you, send me a message and I shall see you soon.